All right, we're good. So first of all, talk about, for people that don't realize, how unique, how surprising is it for the two of you to be sitting here together at this point in your career?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we'd never have thought that 25 years ago, for instance. Didn't used to think much 25 years ago, apart from like, how do we get the money to get the food the next day, you know? Because we used to live in a squat, believe it or not, and used to survive on £8 a week between us. It was about $16, $17 a week. So, and to have been through everything we've been through and survived it, and still be sitting here 25 years, it is pretty remarkable, I think.
Yeah.
And writing new music that could stand up with the best of your music. How does that feel after 25 years?
That's really wonderful, because I think that still to have that capacity to make powerful music, it's just, that was always the thing, the reason why we had joined each other's company really, was that we used to always get such a kick out of, you know, our obsessive compulsion to write the best song we could, you know. You have to be a little bit obsessed about it, and we were all, I mean, I was always personally very shocked and surprised that we ever could do such a thing, and it's wonderful that we can still do that. We could still do that, yeah.
Was there a time, maybe a few years ago, when you thought that wouldn't
Yeah,
happen again?
definitely. You know, because the thing what people don't realise about groups or bands or anything is that it's very, very intense, and you're really exposed to all kinds of pressures and all sorts of circumstances, you know. And groups do split up, and sometimes they don't speak to each other for years, and they come back together, and they could be friends, or maybe they never see each other again. I don't know. We've been through all kinds of stuff, and yeah, we are really good friends. I have to say that. We are very good friends to each other, and I'm really glad that it's gone that way, and I think you don't mind that, do you?
It's very nice.
There you have it.
But obviously without that intensity, some of those high points wouldn't have...
Sure.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we have intensity
In different
in
ways.
our lives
Yeah.
in different ways, you know, because, you know, we've both got children, and we've both been through so many situations and in so many different places around the world, and seen so many things, from the most amazing to the most devastating things. And
we've been through the journey together at the beginning, right back then, of what it was to be striving to do something that we had a vision for, and anonymous people that looked like maybe we didn't have a hope in hell ever, but anyway, let's just try, which is kind of what everybody has a dream about, you know. And in our case, it was about music and music making. It was nothing to do with being famous or being celebrities, because that has always just been a sort of adjunct to what we do, essentially. So to have that dream against the odds, and for it to actually become realised, and at times it could be nightmarish, at times you maybe wished you'd never asked for it in the first place, you know, but to have come through all of that and to still be standing. I mean, we've had people that we've worked with have addictions, die, get chronically sick, get divorced. I mean, the whole spectrum of human experience, we've sort of shared that, and we've got that history together. So it's, you know, it's very special.
And have thrived in so many ways, just with the awards this year alone for the two of you.
Yeah, you know, it's just a certain understanding that we've both got, unique to us, really.
Right from the beginning, you guys hit on with such force, with such vision right from the start. How much of that, the confidence you two must have had to kind of burst on the scene like that? It must have been something, knowing you guys were going to make something happen right from the start.
I think there was a period of experimentation in the studio where we were in London, and you know, we were just like, what is it? What is the music that's going to move us? That contains elements of our influences, but is different from everybody. And it was like, okay, like, we love Motown music, but we love this European cold Kraftwerk kind of thing. Now, how the hell does those two things fit together? Sweet Dreams, you know, which is
Essentially, Eurythmics sound and style.
Which was kind of this very sort of, there was bands at the time like New Order with Blue Monday, or there's a kind of coldness and a kind of starkness, and it's to do with Annie come from Aberdeen, or me coming from the northeast of England. It's very working class, bitter wind, cold, hard, you know, tough. But then there's this soul music that we used to listen to from America, and Motown music and stuff. in the clubs in the northeast of England would have a thing called Northern Soul, and we'd also play Tamla Motown. It was very big, you know, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas and all this kind of stuff. And same with Annie up in Aberdeen when she would hear Motown in.
That's the thing about music, you know, and the spread of music, the broadcasting of music. Is like, as a 14-year-old kid, I was listening to Radio 1, which is, you know, Britain's #1 radio station, and everybody listened to it in the mornings and they're getting ready to go to school. So I heard everything. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles and Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and the Supremes and the Ronettes and everybody, the whole. And I didn't even really understand what Tamla Motown was. I just knew the music. And the music was the thing that kind of made me feel like, I can do that. But nobody knew except me.
You were conscious of your own talent?
Well, not really. No, I just knew that I loved that thing, and I used to kind of just privately just sing it, you know, and kind of cultivate it, but not because somebody said, oh, there's a talent show and you're going to be a star. No, just because I absolutely loved it, and there was no culture of that. It was only like me in my bedroom, and it took me a long time to even find another person that loved music in the same way that I did, and that happened to be Dave. And so we found each other, but then we were in another band before Eurythmics. We were in a band called The Tourists, and we were not the main songwriters.
We only wrote one song in 3 albums.
Yeah, but there were 3 albums that we made, and we toured the world, and we were kind of okay. It was like the practice run up to Eurythmics. Really, we made all the mistakes with that band in a sense, or all the experiences, but and at the end of it we were like penniless and in debt to the record company, which is not a great place to be. And then after that it was like, okay, Eurythmics in a sense to us was like the phoenix rising out of the ashes, you know, because we had litigation. It was just incredible what we went through. So it's not like just like, oh yeah, it's really easy and you just do it like this. And I think the fact that we struggled together and we strove together probably informed the music that we made as well, you know.
And that initial impact, at least here in the States, when people saw that video and heard that song for Sweet Dreams, and it kind of was one of the freshest things a lot of people have heard in many years in music. How did that impact you right away after that struggle you're talking about? Your lives changed instantly?
Yeah,
well,
they did.
What happened, we were among those bands that suddenly, because of television, it happened globally everywhere at once. So like it was, you know, we were like #1 in America, but we were also Australia, Norway, Italy, everywhere. So we literally flew round and round and round the world, and we played live. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but we played live basically about 7 years almost non-stop round the world, you know, tours, and made in 8 years 9 albums, right? And a lot of people make an album every 3 years. But we made those albums and 2. So we'd make our albums, write them and record them in 3 or 4 weeks and be playing live again. And on those albums would be, you know, Here Comes the Rain Again, Sweet Dreams, Would I Lie to You, Missionary Man, Sisters of Dinner. It's just like a list of songs which now are still on the radio all the time, but these were literally written, you know, often and recorded in a day. And then we'd be back on tour. So from the moment Sweet Dreams hit, as you said, America on TV and other places around the world, our lives changed kind of overnight.
Well, it speaks to such a unique talent. Most artists can't do that. Now to have all these songs kind of together. Do you guys, I don't know if do you guys look back a lot, or is this a time now when you're kind of forced to because you put these songs together? Or?
I don't.
No, we don't. I'll probably answer the same as me, as when sometimes people ask if they can have an album and you don't have any of the albums, and you know, it's to get it all back together again, even, you know, to do this. We're re-releasing all the back catalogue with new photos and finding the photos, because, you know, we were always just living in sort of present day, and so it's been interesting this last 2 months, I think.
Yeah, because we only
wrote the song 5 weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, and all of a sudden there's a lot of interest again, and it's like, ooh, it's quite exciting. I like that. I'm happy about that. It's cool, because I feel like there's been this kind of incredible journey that started with Sweet Dreams, and it's come up to this new release called The Ultimate Collection, and only we really know what that trip's been all about, you know.
And then, do you have a game plan for where this could go?
Let's just see what happens.
No.
We don't really?
We just, as we said, we only wrote the song about 5 weeks ago and we finished it 4 weeks ago, of the songs that we've added to the Ultimate Collection. We wrote 3 songs altogether, we're putting 2 on. And so, you know, we're just getting used to the idea that, okay, it's all coming out, and now we're doing interviews, and because it wasn't planned at all. Annie was just visiting me on holiday 6 weeks ago, and here we are.
Are you amazed how well the music still holds up? I don't know how often you actually get to hear it, but stuff still sounds as fresh as it did before.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, if ever I hear a Eurythmics track, it's usually if I'm in a shop or a restaurant or sitting in a car. Those are the means that Eurythmics songs will come back to me, because I'm not playing them. You know, because we made them. That's like, that's part of my fabric of my existence, but I do other stuff too, and I listen to other music. But when I do hear them, I do think, yeah, I get that. I'm very, I won't say I'm proud, but I'm happy to have that legacy, and in a way I am proud that we've managed to make songs that people, you know, because a lot of people come up to us and say, you know, thank you for the music, things like that, and you know, oh, I've loved your music for years and still love it, and I think, well, maybe it was meaningful after all. Maybe, you know, it made a difference to people's lives somehow. And we would have liked that when we were making the music then, you know. That's the thing. You want to inspire people, and you want to make them feel something, and that's just always the reason why we do it.
Would it be especially gratifying then to go out on tour next year and do these songs for people and have that?
We're not committed. We're not saying anything.
Sure.
Right?
No. We haven't even talked about it between ourselves.
You must have allowed yourself to actually have these thoughts, even if they're private, what it would mean to...
I haven't gone there yet. We know what touring means. It's a commitment, you know.
Yeah, we both know what the idea is.
It means for a little while you can't take your kids to the school on the school run.
I don't mind that so much, because I would just take the kids with me.
Yes, but we take them with us.
The travelling school, but the thing is, yeah, it'd have to be a lot of complicated things.
It's quite complicated.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But seeing how well these new songs have went, to record again isn't out of the realm of possibility to possibly record.
Well, we never said it wasn't. See, that was the other bit, was that actually Eurythmics never did officially split up. We never actually wrote a piece of paper that stated Eurythmics have split. We just came to a point where we couldn't we didn't want to do it anymore. But we never said it's for good.
See,
just like maybe we will feel like it. When we feel like it, we'll do it. When we don't feel like we won't.
It was amazing for us that you see, we stopped playing live at the end of 1990, and 10 years later, virtually, we did a tour in 1999, and it was amazing to us that, you know, like the Staples Centre had just been built, for instance, and I think we're the second band to play there.
That's right, yeah.
And it was packed, you know, and this is after 10 years of not doing anything, and, you know, Madison Square Garden and all these different places, and that was an album called Peace, which we then gave the proceeds for the tour and the DVD and everything to Greenpeace and Amnesty, and we toured the world, you know, with it. Just briefly, like 3 months we played. I can't remember. Only played 3 dates in America or something like that. But it was great seeing people's reaction to the songs, and the audience was interesting too, because a lot of the songs have never been off the radio. There was all different ages there. Some you know, kids that have only ever heard of us on the radio, and some people had seen us like 15 years before.
How conscious are you guys of your place in rock history at this point? You must, with this collection, bring back some thoughts and looking at images, iconic images that you guys have had in songs that hold up so well. Does that something you...
Well, it's a funny thing, isn't it? I mean, it's just like, okay, think back to when you were a high school kid and you were graduating into going to college or any phase of your life. You'll think, well, that was me, and it's still me. So you've got the present person, and you've got the whole history that leads up to that present person. That's how it is. And that's it.
Have songs like "Sweet Dreams" being used now on the Martha Stewart Apprentice show.
That one kind of slipped through the net, to be quite frank with you. You see, look, it's like this. Our songs, people ask to use them all the time.
Sure.
And that one, that one slipped through. There you have it.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Talk about the new songs, where these songs came from in terms of the place with you. Did you approach music differently now in terms of what would be a rhythmic sound, or did you go back to some of the same feelings you guys haven't had in a while musically?
On I've Got a Life, which is the single, we did sort of tip our hat to early Eurythmics, like analog synthesizers, and the song is very uplifting in as much as Annie was describing earlier, that, you know, a lot of people who've been through all sorts of things in their life, from, you know, illnesses, disasters, relationship breaks up. It's one of these songs that is a bit hopeful and uplifting in it. I think when you hear it on the radio, it gives you a feeling of, you know, like, I'll survive all of this struggle that I'm going through. And that's often been a theme of Eurythmics songs. But but the other song, which is called "Was It Just Another Love Affair," that is sonically very different, and it's got sort of quite a contemporary sort of sound to it, mixed with, we've always jumbled things up, you know, like synthesizers with orchestras or guitars with synthesizers, and Was It Just Another Love Affair? It sounds like a kind of great soul song from a period, but it's got quite a contemporary sound to it.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the strength, and a lot of women, a lot of people look to you always as a role model in lots of ways.
Oh God.
That's something you've never liked that, you pushed that?
No, it's not that. It's just, what can I say? I mean, if people look to me as a role model, maybe they don't know me, because I certainly don't feel like anybody's role model.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you live your life, and you have your weaknesses and your failings and your mistakes and your regrets, and you just aspire to do the best you can in the circumstances, and I just do the best I can. I don't consider myself a role model for anybody, and I never ever did. So, I mean,
but to empower people through music and through image. So.
Yeah, I would say that, you see, really, most of the world, in my opinion, the female side of the world really needs feminism, because women are not empowered in, I would say, maybe 2/3 of the planet. And if you go to countries like Africa or Latin countries, you will see women in servitude still, in the most appalling circumstances, where they are still chattels of men. And, you know, we can laugh about feminism because it sounds like something like, ha ha, feminism, ha. But feminism got me here. And feminism has developed so that we have many women, professional women out there working and being working mothers at the same time, spinning those plates. So I think, you know, we need feminism, and we do need women to be respected and to be held in great esteem, because we are the mothers and we are the achievers too. And we don't have to hate men. We can get along very well, but we need to evolve, both men and women together in some kind of way. I think men can be feminists too, by the way. You know.
Very good. Well said. Well, congratulations, both you guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very nice.